What makes you interested to do this project?
Well, you're on it. Gary Smith's on it. So two of my idols and mentors are on it, and I think the idea of doing a West Coast blues harmonica centric album is kind of unique. It's not. I don't think it's been done before. I know there have been West Coast efforts, blues efforts before, and I'm sure there's some live stuff that's been done before. But I haven't come across anything that's like this specific. And also, I was in Chicago last week, and you know, I got a good dose of Chicago style harp playing, which is really the bulk of what we listen to and enjoy from the old records, and that's the sound we chase. But the West Coast has had a well-established sound, a nice, well-established swing feel.
Yeah.
That's recognized even by the Chicago players. They know it when they hear it. You know, the octaves and all that cool stuff. And I think it's about time that that gets represented, and from a South Bay kind of perspective too. And I should say that gig we did in at the San Jose Jazz Festival, 2009, and I've been wanting to do that again desperately. That sounded great to me,
It was a lot of fun.
and I had a lot of positive feedback that I heard from it. And I know there's some video lurking out there on the internet. So I think it's about time we kind of recreate and capture that again.
Yeah, and that was my thought process too. Is number one, I have a lot of fun doing it, and then two, it's the harmonies, especially doing in the studio. It's common to do one guy, then if they work out the harmonies, then they overdub. But it's generally rare to have multiple players. In this case, 3 players.
Right.
Not just playing at the same time, but actually working out parts, you know.
Right.
But still in that blues tradition, not, you know, there's the difference between working out parts and okay, that sounds kind of nice, sometimes a little bit trite, but actually working out parts that sound inspiring.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's still blues harmonica,
right.
You know.
Right.
I don't know, maybe the distinctions are small, but it's not necessarily that way to me.
No, I think it's totally unique. I've heard nothing like it before. Especially you know, the scratch tracks that you prepared, they sound great in themselves. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
What about the money? So
yeah, you tell me about that, Dave Barrett. Bluesharmonica.com.
I like how R.J. Michaud put it very early on in bluesharmonica.com. It says, David, I think what you're doing is a great thing. You're going to be very successful. You should make hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
He has more faith in you because he told me the same thing, except he said tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars. So I think if you're open to it, maybe we should do is just split the costs, and then at the end we just figure out how, you know, I'm happy if we just make our money back. And I don't gig very much. So I don't make money at the gigs. So
I'm not. I'm all in. This is it for me. I'm in it to win it.
Win it to win it. So how do you make your money off these recordings?
I do not.
You do not.
Well, the good thing is this: if you're performing live, and this is, you know, I'm starting to pick up with my live performances, the frequency, and I'm starting to do a few tours nowadays. I've noticed that if you do well live, if you go over well and the audience appreciates what you do, you can sell your product at the show right there.
Got it.
And that's an immediate, you know, revenue stream. However, I think you have to be doing this, you know, live in order to get it, because music nowadays is very tough to sell, and you know, with the internet and streaming and all kinds of stuff, the physical CD is becoming more of going the way of the LP and all that stuff. Although the audience that does listen to blues is somewhat older and does appreciate the value of having you know, something in hand.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of value in producing these CDs, but I think for me personally, performing live and then presenting them to the audience, that's the way to go about it.
I got it. For me, probably doing some transcriptions of the tunes, that would be the way to monetize it for me, at least get my money back.
Sure.
Yeah, for me it's about teaching, and if I can have fun writing and playing cool arrangements with you guys, I'm happy. And we're going to bring you along for the ride, and that's why we're here today. So I guess the final aspect of it is like the distribution. It's once we do this project, how do we get it out there? So we've got, you're selling it at your gigs. If I do a workshop, I'll bring some with me. What are avenues that you use to sell your CDs?
I use my website. Definitely, that's one of the best ways that for me to sell it, because anybody that's browsing the website, comes across the CD right away. Then there's these third-party, retailers like CD Baby. Well, CD Baby is unique in that not only do they sell CDs and digital downloads off of their website, they'll also act as the middleman or the middle person in middle entity to make it happen. To distribute the CD on iTunes or Amazon, or set it up for streaming, and they handle a lot of the royalty collection if you have original songs. So I like CD Baby a lot for that. And then there's independent retailers like the most excellent Blue Beat Music.
Yeah. BlueBeatMusic.com. Yeah. Charlie Lang.
Charlie Lang, and there's a few others that I've used before.
Yeah. One of the things that I brought up to you is that I want these to be original tunes. One, for me to transcribe them. I don't have to worry about taking care of print rights with anybody. And also for these tunes, if we choose cover tunes, then we have to get licensing for them. You have to play mechanicals. And one, I think it's always good to keep, even though our music was mastered 80 some odd years ago, we can still make it fresh with our performances and our original arrangements. So I think it's important. It's always cool to hear someone do a great cover of a great tune, but I'm a little more enamored with the idea of creating something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from a financial standpoint, it makes sense to create something new because you don't have to worry about paying anyone else, or even being able to get the rights to record a tune, which sometimes can't happen.
Right.
And then from my perspective, to provide transcriptions for you guys, the students, it needs to be clear of print rights, because there's some companies that have a business policy of not contracting or not licensing out tunes to be able to acquire those print rights.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I can't do a lot of the Chicago guys, Little Walter, Big Walter Horton. Those print rights are all taken by a company that doesn't license those tunes.
Right.
So even though I want to, I can't. So I like the idea of having ownership.
No, that's great. I agree with that. I mean, I haven't written a whole lot of original material, considering that I've done 4 records. A lot of it has been covers, mostly because I'm really in love with the songs I want to cover. Yeah. And I desperately want to do them. But the one thing I've learned is that it is expensive and it's cumbersome and tedious to cover these songs. And at the end of the day, you do want to, there's no point being just a cover artist. All of us want to have an original voice. So I fully endorse having original material on the record.
Makes a point. So, shall we go through the arrangements I've written?
No. Yes, let's do it.
All right, cool.